From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News Weekend Edition.
Good evening and welcome to our Saturday edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. Also, a man from Bristol Bay studies shrimp and other small sea creatures as a source of food. We'll have the details. Those stories and more when we return. Stay with us. While many of us are concerned about how climate change affects salmon and Alaska's fishing industry, few of us think about the role shrimp and snails play as a part of the food chain. Mike Schultz has more.
A UAF College of Rural and Community Development student and professor together are studying the snails, shrimp, and other sea creatures that live on the bottom of the Bristol Bay during the wintertime. These animals are important because they are part of the food chain for Alaska's salmon. Their research establishes a baseline measurement so scientists can monitor the changes that may be caused by climate change and other conditions. The research was part of an environmental science class at UAF Bristol Bay campus in Dillingham. Hank Boggs and Todd A. Radenbaugh, Associate Professor of Environmental Science at UAF Bristol Bay campus, used a small Seaview remotely operated vehicle and baited traps to catch snails and shrimp so they could be studied in Bristol Bay Environmental Science Lab.
It's a bit challenging to do research at that time of the year, but it's so important with climate change and that we can get a baseline data that where we can even see if change has occurred. Without a baseline data, we don't know whether there's been a change in our environment. And with climate change, it's the most vulnerable species that are going to be affected first. Well, so if one species would become extinct, it's going to affect every other species through the food chain all the way up to the salmon industry itself.
After retiring as Dillingham's Public Works Director 3 years ago, Hank set a goal to earn a college degree. He was recently honored as UAF College of Rural and Community Development's Outstanding Student in Science and the Outstanding Student for Bristol Bay campus. He graduates with a certificate and an Associate's of Applied Science degree in Environmental Science at UAF Bristol Bay's campus during commencement ceremonies on May 2nd.